Hi, I'm Brandon, and I'm back to do a commentary on Donald Morrison. I had some requests for him, and so I figured I would do him. So let's get into it.
Hey, take a seat. I'll be right there.
I couldn't find the place.
Oh, I know. It's so hard to find.
You couldn't find the place? Well, you are here, so I guess you found it eventually.
Donald Morrison was one of those characters who, had it not been for the graphic...
And he's got that sweat stain on there, the mysterious sweat stain that I think it was Fast 80 or someone that pointed out that it's like a seatbelt stain, because that's where the seatbelt would run across your chest. But either way, it's gross. But funny enough, that's probably the least gross thing about him.
Nature of his online conversation with someone he thought was a young teenage girl, it would be comical.
What's going on?
I don't know. I just was talking to her, and she said, "Come down and visit her." I have a compulsion for younger women.
I couldn't find. I don't know if it's like the segment from the show or something, but he did have a bit of back and forth with the decoy when she was talking in the other room, and they were talking about cookies. It's not in here, but I couldn't find it, so we'll use this video instead.
Just meeting them. I've met about a dozen of them online.
Like, okay, there's so many problems with what he just said. Like, let's listen to that again.
What's going on?
I don't know. I just was talking to her, and she said, "Come down and visit her." I have a compulsion for younger women. Just meeting them. I've met about a dozen of them.
So Chris comes out and within the first question that Chris has, this guy immediately admits to why he's there, tells this strange man he just met that he has a compulsion meeting young women and that he's met about a dozen of them. He's not willing to hide that information. Chris doesn't. This is the worst. This is the worst guy to be in an interrogation. It's like, keep the information to yourself and only tell what's necessary. If you even do that, it's best to keep your mouth shut. This guy just spills everything in his first 3 sentences.
Online.
Did you ever get in trouble for it?
Well, I got in trouble because I met a girl in Michigan.
And how
So that's a yes.
old was that girl?
70.
And what trouble did you get in there?
Well, her grandfather wanted me to try to
Don't talk with your mouth full. It's fucking gross.
charge me with something. They couldn't do anything. So they arrested me for trying for possessing child pornography because I had nude pictures of her on my computer. They ended up dropping the charges.
I see. And how did you get the naked pictures of the teenage girl?
I met her in Michigan, and I took them.
Well, there you go. You pretty much know as much about Donald Morrison as you will ever need to know. That's the kind of guy he is. Meets a 17-year-old girl, takes naked pictures of her somewhere, gets caught for it. Grandfather probably wanted to kill him, but thought better. Tried to have him arrested, and for whatever bullshit legal reasons, they couldn't charge him, or they dropped the charges for whatever reason. So he basically got away with it, and instead of learning, he just goes right back to it with even younger girls.
You took the pictures of the girl.
Mm-hmm.
Morrison just laid it all out there. Not only does he admit what he is doing that night, he tells me he's got a history.
And yeah, is he not embarrassed by it? Does he not get that this is bad? Maybe it's public knowledge, maybe there's some sort of record of it that the police would find out, but why would you just tell that to some man that just walks out and says hi, and then you just spill everything to him that you've done, your entire criminal history? And this isn't just having a drug problem or some history of something that's not that big of a deal. This is one of the worst crimes. Why would you just tell someone that just because they're there?
Of doing this sort of thing.
How old was the youngest girl you ever met?
17.
17.
Most of them are 21, 22.
And tonight, though, you were willing to come meet a 15-year-old.
And I want to know what the circumstances are around him meeting these women. I have a hard time believing that Donald Morrison is so attractive to women in their early 20s that he's just getting them by the dozen. I just refuse to believe that is true. So he's probably either coercing them somehow, or he's lying to them, or he's promising them money or something, or somehow tricking them, or he's going after women that are just in very bad situations. I don't know, maybe there's information out there about the exact circumstances, but it's just most of these guys say, this is my first time doing this kind of thing. Donald's oh yeah, I've done this dozens of times before. Something doesn't add up.
Yeah, I don't know why.
You don't know why.
Well, I know why.
Well, you treat this like, you forgot to pay for some candy at the grocery store.
I came to met her because she told me that she...
And what is up with his hair? Let's just take a moment to look at this when he tilts his head down.
Grocery store.
It's like he's got like different bald. He's got like a bald spot, but then he has this area here that's like bald, and then he has this like peninsula hair that's like coming straight down the middle of his forehead.
I came to met her because she told me that she was bored, and I said, well, do you want me to come down and meet you? And she said, sure, come on down. So I said, okay. That was it. I know it's wrong. I shouldn't have done it. I knew I shouldn't have done it.
Why'd you do it then?
I don't know. Just...
Donald doesn't strike me as the smartest man around. He seems like he's an idiot. And it's like, it doesn't surprise me that he still lives at home with his parents, or at least with his mom. He's probably like, he could operate on his own, but he would just get into trouble and not be responsible enough to be a productive adult who could maintain their own living space and go to work and everything. Like, he probably needs his parents or his mom to watch over him.
Just because when people sweet talk me, I fall.
In Donald Morrison's mind.
And it's like, maybe Donald's doing something right in his life. Maybe whatever he does and says online is so appealing to women that they're sweet talking him left, right, and center. He doesn't even have to go after them. They come after him, and he just like is unable to resist. Maybe we've been looking at Donald Morrison wrong. Maybe there's something we could learn from him.
He truly thinks that if a young teenage girl says it's okay to have sex, it's okay.
You say, if you are ready for sex, I'll give it to you, but I have erectile dysfunction. Won't get real hard.
Is that really something that you want blasted out on national television?
Sure sounds like you were preparing for a sex act.
I was preparing for, because she said that, I said, if you saw what I said, if you want it, I will give it to you, but I'm not going to force anything that you don't want. I'm not going to force me.
That's not good, Donald. Like, you're admitting to a crime. Like, a person of that age cannot consent no matter what. So regardless of what happened, you would be the one in trouble, and it doesn't matter what she says. So you saying this as some kind of a defense is complete bullshit.
Myself on you.
That doesn't make it legal, though.
I know it doesn't make it legal.
I want you to be honest with me. If I wasn't here tonight, and a young girl was, who was alone and willing to have sex, what do you think would have happened?
I could say honestly, yes, it probably would have if she would have, said, hey, let's go for it.
And you don't
Like, why is he admitting to it? Like, he's been in some sort of legal trouble before. Does he not have enough sense to, like, just shut up and don't admit to things that are criminal?
see anything wrong with that.
Yes, I do see things wrong with it, but I lack a judgment.
Here's this guy who's, middle-aged, who's not especially well-dressed, doesn't appear to have a lot of money in his pocket, is living with his parents.
You going to tell your folks about this?
I'm going to tell my folks about it.
You are?
Yes, sir.
How do you think they're going to react?
Oh, I know my mom's going to take my computer and completely throw it away.
And there we got probably the most famous line from him. Does he not realize how stupid and despicable that is? Like once you're past, like, even past the age of 16, like, your parents shouldn't have to enforce those kind of rules. And definitely past 18. By the time you're 48, you should not be in a position where your parents even have that amount of control over you. Even now, if my parents wanted to throw my computer away, I don't live with my parents, but if they wanted to throw my computer away for some reason, I'm not going to let it happen. They don't have that kind of power over me because I'm a grown man. Like, and then Donald here is like friggin' way older than me, and he just doesn't see a problem the fact that his mom is the one to dish out punishments and has the ability to do that. Like, does this happen so often that his mom is always disciplining him so that he's just like, well, that's the way it is. I'm not even going to question why it's this way. It's just, my mom's going to be mad at me and she decides on the punishment.
You're 48 years old, Donald. Why should you rely on your mommy to do discipline?
What was that little face that he made there?
Why?
It's just like a little kind of head tilt smirk thing. Let's watch that again.
I'm going to take my computer and just completely throw it away.
You're 48 years old, Donald. Why should you rely on your mommy to do
It's like he's trying not to break into a smile.
discipline?
Is he sweating even more than since he walked in? That's gross.
Here.
Because of, like I said, lack of judgment, being lonely, having no girlfriend, physical contact with anybody.
Like, what? Am I missing something? Like, didn't he just say he's had about a dozen times that he's met young women? The youngest was 17, so we won't include that one that he got in trouble for, but he said most of them are 21, 22, so they are legal. So he's meeting up with all these women. What exactly is he doing with them? Like, if he's this sexual with this teenage girl, or trying to be, you would assume that he was wanted to do something similar with these women who are 21, 22. But now he's saying that he doesn't have a girlfriend and that he doesn't have any contact with anyone. It's like he seems to be having more contact with women than any other predator out there. So, like, is he not having some sort of physical contact with them? Or at the very least, some sort of relationship, like they're talking, they're doing like some sort of human connection. I don't get what he's kind of like trying to have it both ways. And it's also just kind of despicable that he just admits that, like, he has a lack of control, like he has some sort of impulse problem. If you're aware that you have that problem, it should be something that you are fighting against with every fiber of your being. If you know there's something wrong, you fight against it. You do what you can to overcome your problems. You don't just give in to it and it's like, oh, well, I can't control my actions, so I'm not even going to try. It's just the way I am. And then you just go full tilt into doing illegal things like this. No, is he just not? I don't think he's smart enough to really analyze and be aware of his own actions.
Just lost it.
Ultimately, Donald Morrison says, okay, I get what's going on here. I'm probably on To Catch a Predator right now. He recognizes me finally.
When you said you thought the Dateline stories were pretty bad, did you think the stories were bad because of what Dateline did, or did you think what the guys caught on Dateline did were bad?
Some of the things that Dateline did.
And I think he just is too dumb to understand what Chris is asking, because Chris asks the same thing again and he changes his answer.
Wait, let me get this straight. So when you say you thought that the Dateline stories were pretty bad, are you talking about the stories or the guys who were caught in the stories?
The guys who got caught in the stories, and I know this is probably going to be on Dateline too, so go ahead and put it on.
He's probably the only one that says that. Like, he's just got nothing going on in his life that, like, his reputation is so like bottom of the barrel that it cannot be ruined, that like he's really indifferent to whether or not he's on To Catch a Predator. You figure most people would not want that, and he's just kind of like, either way, like it's not going to affect him. It's like he like doesn't he have a job? Like, doesn't he have like friends, or just like worry about his reputation? Like, it's just, yeah, like he just it's such an odd reaction.
Well, you know who I am.
Yeah, I know who you are. Once I recognized it. I recognized the voice. I don't really watch Dateline. I mean, I'm usually working 2 to 11.
I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline
Right,
NBC.
I understand. I know who.
I wonder if he works. Does anyone know where he works? Because that seems like a restaurant shift. I used to work at a restaurant when I was younger, and that was like one of the shifts. There was like the kind of like the morning day shift, but the night shift was like 3 to 11 or 3 to midnight, something like that, because that's when the kitchen closes. So yeah, I wonder if he's like a cook or something.
I recognize it from the voice.
And everything you've just said and done has all been recorded.
Okay.
And if you have anything else you'd like to tell us, we'd like to hear it.
Just saying that, I shouldn't have done it. I mean, this is something I normally don't go out and do.
You just said that this is something you always do, and you've done it many times. You've been caught before. This is clearly something you do.
Donald, you're free to walk out that door. That same door you walked in.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing, kicking me in the pants and setting me straight, Chris.
You shouldn't have to be kicked in the pants and set straight when you're 48. That's something that happens when you're like 9. Or maybe like 13, 14 if you're like get caught drinking or something like that. Like, he's beyond the point of being able to fix his actions if it hasn't happened yet.
Let's say it's a bit the first and a bit the last time.
Yeah, I don't believe that for a second.
You want to? I'll give you permission to even monitor me if you want to.
I appreciate that.
I'm willing, if I could find a counselor, I'll go to counseling.
Maybe he
I know a guy you could talk to that knows a lot of counselors. He could probably find you one in like 5 seconds.
should have help. But I think, looking back on it now, there's also a little bit of showmanship going on Donald Morrison's part. He's thinking that if he admits he's got a problem and thanks me for giving him a kick in the pants, as I believe he put it, and that he'll get help, he thinks maybe he can dodge being in some sort of trouble with law enforcement.
Yeah, Chris is exactly right. That's why people do that, right? Like, oh, I just need counseling. I promise I'll get help. It's just a way to avoid punishment for a little bit longer. And they might go through the motions of getting help or seeing a counselor, but they're just going to keep right on doing what they're doing. They're not going to actually stop it. It's like it's just an excuse to try to evade consequences.
Of course, that's not going to work out very well for him.
Am I going to be arrested when I go out there?
That's not up to me.
Okay.
But you're free to go.
Your mom's standing out there holding your computer, and she's going to smash it on the ground as soon as you walk out.
The way this is set up, there was some tendency for some of these
Oh, look at his back. It's just like full of sweat.
guys to try to go out the front door as opposed to the back door.
Where's the door at?
Straight back.
Straight back?
Right through that door right there. He steps off that back step, which is kind of a big step, and boom, Fort Myers police are right on. What
Yeah, they took him down pretty hard.
physical threat did Donald Morrison pose? Probably not a great threat,
I knew this was going to happen when Dateline was in there.
but you never know what somebody's got
I
on,
wasn't
and you never
fixing
know
up.
how somebody might react once they walk out of a house after being on television.
I'm diabetic.
Do you have any needles in your pockets?
No, sir.
Go through your knees to your chest. Roll up.
Get my glasses.
I got them.
The arrest is made. Morrison goes into, a diabetic shock of sorts, and they didn't want to take any chances, obviously, so they actually took him to the hospital. And he was actually handcuffed, as I recall, to the stretcher as he went in. He was treated and ultimately released and was processed and charged.
Donald Morrison, you're charged with sex offense against a child, fondling a victim 12 years of age or up to 15 years, and obscene communications with a computer to seduce or solicit a child.
Your Honor, may I ask a question?
No, sir.
Okay.
That's awesome. It says Donald Morrison was found guilty of computer pornography and solicitation of a minor. So I'm not sure what happened to him, but hopefully he got punished. And he might have died, actually. I'm not sure. I might have read that he died, but I'm sure someone watching will confirm that, or I can check the TCAP wiki page later. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see everyone next time.